This episode was brought to you by The Who's Quadrophenia.
I intend to rule with respect.
Everybody hella raw pasta wasabi, I'm so low the
Customization.
genius.
I'm gonna crash my slow-mobile. Write that down, write that down!
What's your budget?
Write that down, write that down!
To the moped store, said fuck it.
Write that down, write that down!
Hello there, I'm Darren,
And I'm Kat.
and today we're talking about Boba Fett, episode 3. So we open up the episode with a Bomar spider droid. We get this scene from the first or second trailer, and it's the Bomar spider droid walking past Jabba's palace, and it's like, oh, Camelot.
Camelot. It's only a model.
It's only a model. Well, that solves that question, because I was wondering, is it really small or is it far away?
So we get the Matt Berry robot, and like since you pointed it out, I can't unhear his voice.
Yeah, it was definitely, yeah. The moment he started talking, like, because he hasn't really been talking that much in the last episodes, so talking a lot more in this episode, you realise it is in fact Matt Berry.
I was just waiting for him to pop in and say, Boba! So he explains what happened after Jabba died and how the territories are all carved up. And then a new guy pops in with an issue. He is, and it's the guy from Dodgeball.
L for love.
So he comes in, says that there is a deadly cyborg gang that has changed themselves so much to make them even more deadlier, and these guys have been stealing water from them.
May we emphasise that this group is deadly.
Deadly. So yeah, so this is kind of like another one of them D&D side quest things, and it's like, right, okay, so could you imagine walking up to Jabba the Hutt as the guy from Dodgeball and saying, here, Jabba, actually, someone has stolen my water, and it's a deadly gang. And then Jabba himself, with 2 pig guys and Fennec Shand, walk up to the gang. It just wouldn't happen. It's just, this is just another thing of like Boba Fett's really out of his depth, and it just, everything looks awkward when he's doing it himself. But he's supposed to be the boss.
If only Boba had a gang that could deal with all of this.
Yeah. Well, so a deadly gang.
A deadly gang.
So they walk into Mos Espa, and everything's looking, crap. It looks like Mos Espa. Everything really fits in. It looks awful in the best of ways. This is Tatooine, Star Wars. Everything's looking janky. And then they come up to the Quadrophenia gang.
The rockers.
The rockers.
The rockers. Oh my goodness.
And it's the cleanest looking people on Tatooine with the freshest, cleanest looking rides. And their excuse for they're the guys that stole the water.
Yeah,
and
because they don't have any money to buy the water, apparently, because they have no work.
Yeah.
And yet they look so clean.
So fresh.
Yeah.
It's like, where'd you get the money for the turtle wax for the mopeds? So shiny. I mean, so I can see where this might go. I mean, these guys clearly must be from somewhere else, but it's the amount of suspension of disbelief and the amount of backstory you have to put into yourself to explain why this moped gang is in the middle of Mos Espa.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Boba Fett walks up to them, does some generic dialogue, says like, you got guts, things like that there. They explain that it was a month's wages for water and stuff, and then for some reason, the guy from Dodgeball just pops out again, as if he was like listening the whole time or followed them there. Or...
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Dodges some of Boba Fett's questions, and Boba Fett pays him off, hires these guys as his gang because they look so deadly. The Boba Fett was like, I need this.
Well, he definitely needs a group that
He
needs
someone.
to go, yeah, that can go out and deal with this kind of crap.
Yeah. Oh. So I mean, well, maybe they can do that. Like fair enough. So then we pop back to Boba in his Bactapod, and he starts doing a vision quest. We see what happened to the Tuskens. the Kintan Syndicate kills his people and leaves the Star Wars equivalent of a teabagging all over the place. You get that?
Penises everywhere.
Everywhere. Also, I mean, it was really cool to see him ride a bantha, and I feel like that's the only reason why he rode a bantha. So we see him ride a bantha.
Yeah, it was very cool. I liked the bantha.
Yeah.
But how long would it have taken him to get there?
I know. Yeah. So
Yeah.
So 12 years later, he arrives. Tries to get protection money out of the Pikes. Has to head back. Turns out the Kintan Syndicate had already wiped out his people, so he burns them all. Then the vision is cut short because Black Chrysanthemum whaps open his back of the tank and starts chucking him about like a rag doll.
Now you have Boba Fett in boxers, very wet, wrestling a Wookiee, and I feel like this is some person's version of mud wrestling or something. Yeah.
So he's interrupted by the fashion catalog team, who then like semi takes him out. Yeah, so then they fight him down the stairs, and then Fennec Shand finishes him off, sends him down into the pit beneath Jabba's throne.
Mm-hmm. Still empty.
Yeah, so it just kind of like like Black Chrysanthemum then was just a bit of a wet fart. It was like, it just kind of delegitimizes him. I feel like he should have took out someone just to kind of give him a bit more like, oh, this guy's a scary guy.
Bit of an anticlimax.
Yeah. So then we fast forward to the next day, and ED8 pops in and tells him that the twins are outside. So he goes outside, full Boba Fett outfit, and the twins apologize for trying to kill him, and then immediately give him a Rancor with Danny Trejo as the new Rancor keeper.
Pretty amazing.
Well, the highlight of this episode was Danny Trejo being a a Rancor keeper.
Also, like the idea of a Rancor going into the Rancor pit. Yeah.
So they explain a bit about the Rancor, and it's kind of, it was actually, I thought that was kind of nice. It was nice, kind of a nice diversion in this episode. Probably the highlight was with all the Rancor stuff.
Yeah.
And probably foreshadowing what's going to happen at the end. Maybe, because here's the thing.
Somebody might actually go into the pit whenever there is a Rancor in it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. But they won't be attacked because Rancors are extremely peaceful.
Seriously misunderstood creatures.
So the twins explain that actually this whole place has been promised to a different syndicate by the mayor. So Boba goes sees the mayor, the mayor's Domo, and Budget Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Budget Pedro Pascal and the Domo greet him, and then the Domo tries to escape. And the guy, like, why do they have so many mirrors? What could be behind them? They begin their slowmobile chase.
Cue Quadrophenia.
Yeah, so the Macklemore music video ensues, and they chase him through Mos Espa, and then the leader of the group, the rockeriest looking one, takes out the speeder, and turns out Boba Fett's jetpack has been working this entire time.
Alright.
And the Domo says that the mayor is working with the pipes.
The pipes?
The pikes.
The pipes. Pipes.
So then we skip forward, and we see a ship arriving with a whole bunch of people randomly coming out of it. And then about halfway through that, a whole bunch of pikes come out, which says to me that they didn't take their own ships.
Oh.
This is like traveled economy. But luckily enough, Boba Fett now has a gang of really incognito spies. So the guy in the cleanest, like brightest colored outfit and a bright red moped was scoping out the situation, and no one noticed him. So just a bit silly. So then we pop back to Boba and Fennec, and Fennec says, "It's the Pikes. They're going to war." With who, Fennec? Because
should we be worried?
Yeah, because there's like 50 of them popped off that ship, and she's like, they're going to war. With who? Like Boba Fett, Fennec Shand, the two pig guys, the Quadrophenia squad. I mean, I feel like Boba's going to be at a disadvantage here. at the same time, I feel like maybe in the next episode they're going to start talking about the other places that have been given him tribute, and I think he's going to try and wrangle them in under his wing. But I mean, why hasn't he done that so far? I think there's just a load of kind of gaps that are just a little bit silly. And then not only that, this is the third episode, and in the third episode we've now had 3 main villains to set up. There's only 4 episodes left, so we're halfway through, and we're kind of, so it is going to be the Pikes. Apparently, it might not be. They might show up next episode and say, "Actually, sorry about that. Here's a gift," and or actually promise to someone else. Give the Trandoshans a go. But yeah, so I mean, like the first episode, we think it's the mayor's going to be the bad guy, or it's going to be the like some mixture between the mayor and the Kintan guys. Turns out the Kintan guys are small potatoes. Then we move to in episode 2, it is actually the Hutts, and now the Hutts are gone, and now it's the Pikes. So I feel like that's that was a big leap for a lot of that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we're saving money on CGI.
I think we're just going to have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I think there is something bigger happening behind it all. It's very don't show or don't tell.
There's going to be a battle of 7 armies.
Because I feel like what the Hutts are doing is they're going to let Boba Fett and the Pikes fight themselves out, and then they're going to try and swing it at the end. So.
Well, that's probably quite intelligent to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But it doesn't feel that way when you're watching it. And then I feel like Boba's whole thing is he's going to try and unite the guys that are under his wing, that are owing him tributes at the moment, and then I still think we're going to go somewhere with the Tusken Raiders. I know that they've just been wiped out, but there's bound to be something in that. So yeah, that's about all we've got time for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you've earned it, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.